welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Zsuzsanna. I'm from Switzerland and today it's going to be all about how to be sustainable and zero waste as a student on a budget. It's not what I usually publish on this channel because I usually do like travel and business and all that, like college, study abroad stuff for students, but this is for students too and it's super important to me. I'm like really into this. So I wanted to share my tips for you guys to live more eco-friendly, sustainably, and potentially zero waste. So that's what we're trying for here. Many people assume that being eco-friendly and zero waste costs a lot of money, but actually it can even save money. So the first tip is to minimize your supplies because you often don't need what you are told to need. Let's say you have that long list of having notebooks for each class and having 40 different kinds of pencil colors, or getting like specific pencils and you actually just need one pencil, maybe 4 colors and a highlighter, and you can just get a neon color pencil to use as a highlighter, and you probably have a whole lot of notebooks already. Tip number 2 is to use reusable boxes and like Tupperware. You don't need those one-time use sandwich bags. Like you can just take one box and use that every day. You just have to wash it. That's it. Tip number 3 is to go thrift and shop your clothes secondhand. If you really know what's going on in the fashion industry, you would not support first-hand clothing. I'm telling you that. Factories are like in the top 5, if not the first, what's responsible for emissions and carbon emissions and all that bad stuff. Production is emitting extremely, and transportation is too. So if you're ordering online, that's even worse than buying from the store. But just try for thrifting. You can thrift all your clothes, like except of maybe underwear. I would not thrift that. Maybe get that in like a sustainable shop, like a local shop, so it lasts you longer than getting like an H&M one for like $5, and then you need to purchase new ones, and then it's adding up, and you could have just bought one for years and you would have saved money. And that's bringing me to tip number 4, which is to invest in quality. And I know we don't have much money as students, we are on a budget, but investing a little bit more in something what's lasting you longer is so much better than purchasing like one-use items or like cheap items. Just avoid to purchase one item several times. Just invest in one thing, like a backpack for example, or like bed sheets in college, or storage stuff, a laundry basket. Just spend a little more money on one thing and keeping it for a long time than wasting so much. Not just products, but also money. Tip number 5 is a little like more common, which is having a water bottle, but I still need to mention it because it's part of this video. If you get one reusable cup or hydro flask or whatever you want to get, it's so much cheaper than getting plastic bottles and throwing them away after using them maybe for a day. Think about what happens with it afterward. I know it's hard to do that because you just throw it in the bin and then it's gone, and then it's like it's not in your life anymore. You don't have to put up with it, but it still exists. About that. Number 6 is to take your own bags to the store. I'm sure you already have a whole lot of bags at home. The next tip is about like school supplies, so try to get stitched notebooks and the ones that are out of like paper, like folded out of paper, because if they have like the ring binders or something, you have to take it apart and then one part of it is not recyclable. The best would be to purchase already recycled notebooks. The next tip would be to get refillable pens, because even if they do come in plastic packaging sometimes, try to find the non-packaged ones, but if they do, it's still more sustainable to get one to refill than several to throw away. Like, you get what I mean. And you do save money with that too. And the next one would be to get recyclable pens. There are pens that you can plant and they grow herbs afterwards. Isn't that like amazing? Like, who founded that? I love it and I want to get that too, but I first need to use up all my pens I already have. And like I said before, you can get pens in like neon colors or pastel colors and use those as highlighters. You don't need to get the plastic one, which then run out after a few weeks. The next tip would be to share your knowledge and try not to be extremely aggressive with it, because I'm that way and I'm just kind of feeling that nobody is listening to me because I am aggressive. So you just try to share your knowledge and tell them how important it is for every single person to become more sustainable, because then if they understand like what it's about, maybe they will follow it as well. The next step is to ditch all single-use items, not just single-use plastic items, but all single-use items. They're just not necessary. Like, if you really think about it, do you really need to get like plastic cutlery? Like, you can just take your own from home, wash it, and then it's fine, you know? Or like straws. There are stainless steel straws, there are paper straws, there are like another kind of straws. I don't know what they're made of, but they're amazing. They're like thicker. It's almost like noodles, which was pretty amazing. I was like at that restaurant and they had those and I was like super proud. I was like, yes. Tip number 10, or I think I added a few ones in the middle. I think we're at like 15 now, maybe. I don't even know. I didn't count. Is to use up your stuff before getting new stuff. We're all like consuming stuff because that's what we were told. That's how we live. Like, all the media and everyone is telling us to, like, you know, that's the new thing, buy that, but you haven't even used up your first one. I do have a plastic brush at home because I've had that since like 5 years and it's still working. So why would I throw it away? Like, that's totally against the mindset of being more sustainable. So I'm just keeping it until it doesn't work anymore, until it's broken, and then I'm gonna get like a nice wooden brush. My next tip is to use cotton rounds, and I have these. I bought those from Amazon, which is not really sustainable, but I couldn't get them anywhere at like a local store, and I wanted these because I don't want to use those normal cotton, like the cotton pads. You know what I mean? Like those one use and you throw them away because they're dirty kind of things. And these you can just wash after using them a few times, and then they're all fresh again. So I don't know if this was like a US brand or like a European one, but you can find those from like a lot of brands. You don't need to get these. Maybe you guys know those plastic bags you use for like weighing your tomatoes or zucchinis or whatever vegetables or fruits you're getting at the grocery store. You can buy or make your own reusable bags, and you probably need like a few of those because you want to keep them apart. Having those is really helpful, especially like having them in the car or in your bicycle bag storage place. The next step is to make your own cleaning supplies, because that saves so much money and is so much more eco-friendly than getting those really chemical cleaning supplies, especially for college students. I don't know the recipes, like my mom is making them, but you can just look it up on like Pinterest or Google and find really good recipes that actually work and are really eco-friendly. The next one is kind of really hard to me because even in Switzerland, where sustainability is like a little more common than maybe in like parts of the US, like when I went there it was much harder to find plastic-free groceries than here, but even here it's really hard still. So what I like to do is just go to farmers markets. They have less packaging, but you can find like packaging free items even in normal grocery stores. You just have to go in with like a different mindset. If your product you want is not available without plastic, then you just try to find another one. It's just like not available in my mind, so I'm trying to find a different item unless I really needed to, like, you know, survive. I don't know what that would be. Try to look at it that way instead of like, I really need those mushrooms but they're not available, like plastic free, I'm just gonna get the plastic one because I want them. But actually you could just pick up like another kind of mushrooms or just another vegetable instead. So just try to find alternatives without packaging, or try to find like the best option. I know we're all not going to be perfect at all times, but it's just important to try our best to make this world a better place. Another tip is to ditch plastic wraps. Who said that they're important? Like, who said we need them? You can just put your food in containers or like the Tupperware. Hi, this is me editing. I forgot to say that you should use shampoo and shower gel like bars, because they're so much better for first traveling because you're not using liquid, so you can bring them on your flight even if you just have like a hand luggage. Part 2, you have it for much longer than something in a bottle. And third, it's just so much better for the environment because you're not using any packaging. So yay for shower bars. We almost made it, stick with me. These are the last 2 tips. So the next one is to buy local, because transportation makes a lot of emissions. So to try to shop local and support like smaller shops, and try not to order from like online stores because, you know, transportation, and usually the shipping comes in like plastic wraps or plastic packaging, unless it's like a zero waste brand, or even then, even if it's a zero waste brand, I've experienced that so many times that it still comes in a plastic packaging. And my last tip is to cut down on your meat consumption, because that is connected to factory productions as well. And like we just heard, factories make a lot of carbon emissions, and it's really bad. It's like, I don't know how many thousand times worse than cars. Cutting down on your factory produced food can make a big change. Even if it's only you can share that thought, and many more people can get involved and challenge themselves to at least go vegan for a week. You don't have to become vegan. I still eat meat because it's just part of my diet, and I don't know, I'm a bad person. But I do try to shop at like a local shop where they sell like packaging free and like organic meat or milk and eggs and all that, like farmers stuff kind of, like, because they feed their animals like way better than like factory produced meat. So just give that a thought, try to research a little bit more about that. But this was the last tip. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you stuck with me until now, please comment below because I want to know who my really loyal people are. Get involved, people, share your knowledge, try to apply these tips, save money for college with these tips, and make your life easier and feel better by doing these. See you next time. Bye.